was a text message from someone saying they were behind a car. Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A in Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
Everything on your phone is telling me that you made a phone call 911.
I didn't talk.
Because you did something stupid.
I'm not going to the car!
On July 26, 2023, dispatchers in Volusia County receive urgent 911 texts from a driver who claims to be following an armed kidnapper's van on the interstate. When they trace the phone, however, they learn the messages are coming from a residence in Port Orange, turning a plea for help into an unexpected lesson in consequences.
I'm telling you this right now. You're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old that if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
I'm not going to do this again.
The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has mostly never been seen before until now. It's just after 9:45 a.m. when 911 begins receiving texts from someone named Lily Lee Combs. She claims to be following a kidnapper's van on the interstate, and updates are still pouring in. Volusia County deputies, multiple area police departments, and a helicopter join the urgent search. When they fail to locate the van, a deputy tries calling the phone number that's been sending the text messages.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Is this what's your name? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm trying to reach the person that called 911.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, shit, I'm on.
Please leave your message for 3.
Oh, it's going to voicemail. It says, RP confirming they are in a blue Jeep. Victim is in a white van. They can see they are being restrained through the windows. At the turnaround?
A new text message comes through, including a detailed description of the suspect, who's described as having brown hair and blue eyes.
Oh my God.
How is she behind them? She's seeing this happen and she knows what color eyes he has. That's weird. Brown hair and blue eyes, but she's behind them. Like,
If she was saw the incident or saw witnessed the kidnapping, or how would you even be following them and know any of this?
yeah, RP confirming they were in a blue Jeep, victim in a white van. Of course, it's a white van. It just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm not saying this by any means, but it's just,
Yeah.
I've had calls like this before.
Their suspicions about the text messages are all but confirmed when a GPS trace on the phone comes back to a residence in Port Orange, indicating the texter is not traveling on the highway as they claim. Deputies quickly head to the residence to investigate.
Hi there, how you doing? Is this your residence, sir?
This is.
Do you have a daughter or a child at the home named by Lily Lee?
No.
No?
Anybody home?
Yeah, my wife, my kids. We just got home from Pennsylvania. I have an Ava and a Mikey.
Ava and Mikey.
Yep.
One Delta 516.
Would you like to see them?
The deputies follow him to his house, where he informs his wife what's going on.
There was a 911 call?
Yeah, so somebody called in, they texted.
Sorry, I'm in my pajamas.
No, it's fine.
You're fine.
Someone texted into 911 that someone was getting kidnapped and they were on the interstate, but then when they went and did a location on the phone, the address was showing up here.
As their daughter Ava steps into the garage, her phone rings. The deputy answers it, leading to a shocking conclusion.
Hello? Hold on. Who's this?
Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
All right, cool. This is Deputy Asby, the Sheriff's Office.
Oh, good. You got her.
Yep. All right.
Wow.
Oh, okay, is her dad home?
Yep. I got both her parents here.
Yeah, we're going to ask the sheriff to go away in a second.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
What happened? I'm so
Let me see this phone.
Yeah, so all these other numbers. So there's a phone call out to 911.
There's a phone call out to
Yep.
There.
What time?
That's
There's
her
one right
call. That's
here.
her calling it.
There's 911 again right there.
This phone was called
These
in.
numbers calling back in are no caller ID.
You did.
Well, there's 3 different times of 911 was called out from this phone.
9:30 a.m.
Yep.
That was the initial call.
Twice.
I didn't mean to call that But you did.
Reports show that the number belonging to Ava dialed 911 at 9:30. When asked where the emergency is, a female identified as possibly a juvenile responded, "I'm sorry, I dialed the wrong number." The same phone number would later begin texting 911 to report the kidnapping.
When did, I'm just so confused, I'm sorry, when did you got a message about an interstate?
So there was a text message from someone saying they were behind a car.
Could I call this
Who
back?
was kidnapped. Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A in Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
What time is this?
This is this is today. This
we
actively
got
going on
home
right
at
now.
2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So we were here the whole time since 2:30. We were on the interstate coming home from
Everything's showing
Pennsylvania.
Right.
You called out.
We showed up here like 2:10, 2:15.
Okay.
And we went to bed.
But these 911 calls
For this morning. You were calling 911? You were. Don't look surprised. You did. You did it on your phone.
Did they say anything to you? No one said anything to you?
Did you say, Ava, you have to explain what happened here. Something's going on. What did you know? What do you know?
Mikey, go inside. Ava, get your shoes on. Come out here.
I didn't hit anything. Want me to close the door? I just hit.
You're not in trouble. I just need to know what happened. I need to know and understand because this is like weird.
Because we got to make sure that there's not somebody that's being kidnapped on the interstate. We're trying to find them. And
Open your mouth if you said something on the phone.
I didn't say anything.
Everything on your phone is telling me that you made a phone call 911.
But I didn't talk.
While one deputy heads to her cruiser, she greets officers from the Port Orange Police Department who have just arrived at the scene.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, I was just trying to make heads and tails of that damn call. There's so many notes in it, my God.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. We're with the parents and the daughter, and I guess the daughter did have. We pulled up the call log, and she did call 911.
So the whole armed kidnapping thing and all that stuff is bogus, or?
There was no text evidence when we looked through it, so I don't know if she deleted it real quick or if it's like through an app. Yeah, it seems it's probably just this wedding thing. She's like 10 years old. So
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
While Ava's parents demand an explanation, deputies prepare to Mirandize the 11-year-old, who has yet to fully grasp the gravity of the situation.
You just lied to the police and mommy and daddy. You just lied to everybody.
You have 3 sheriffs here for stupidity.
Los niños
Tell them
mienten.
what you just did to us.
Open your mouth. I'm telling you, open your mouth.
She's going to read you something, and then we're going to ask you some questions. What's your name? Ava. How old are you, Ava?
All right, Miss Ava, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have the lawyer present during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before my questioning if you wish.
We're reading her rights.
Because you did something stupid.
Right.
Let me explain something here, okay? You can cry about this. What you've done here is a felony, okay? It's a felony crime, and you probably had 20 law enforcement officers, at least, a helicopter, and all running with lights and siren on high speed to try to apprehend or try to stop a serious forcible felony from happening. Do you know what happens if one of those officers crashes and gets killed on the way to responding to something that you did as a joke? So you better take this serious.
Under pressure from both her father and the deputy, Ava offers an excuse for her actions, which doesn't sit well with the deputy.
Ava, you need to tell the exact truth. I don't want a story. I don't care what it is. I want the exact truth.
You can't make this go away by being quiet. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to end up in a pair of handcuffs going to our juvenile facility. I'm not going to mince any words with you. That's a very distinct possibility of what can happen here today. Don't look at your mother. She didn't have any part in this. This was all you.
Yesterday, Mikey, my brother, said something about my mother. Just made me pop in the head, and then I ended up doing it today and doing all this.
Was he part of planning this with you?
No, he just said it, and then
What did he say?
he said, "What's 911?"
This is your brother?
Yeah, he said it yesterday.
You wanna get him?
And doing all this.
Was he part of planning this with you?
No, he just said it, and then
What did he say?
he said, "What's 911?"
This is your brother?
Yeah, he he said it this way.
You wanna get him?
Well, we can, when we're done, will you go wait a minute?
And then I said, no, we can't. And then I had an idea this morning, and then I just...
So you're trying to blame this on your brother?
You could ask me.
Was he with you when you made this call?
No.
Okay, was he with you when you made these texts?
No.
Okay, then you did this. You were on your own for this. And if your brother's 7 years old, you're not going to blame your 7-year-old brother for this. This was all your decision. Okay.
To call 911 to do what? What did he say to call 911?
Just call 911. You could ask him.
So can I ask?
What if he told you to go up on the roof and jump off the roof? Would you do that? So what's the difference?
Deputies will soon discover the startling truth behind Ava's fabricated story. For now, Ava's mother raises concerns about recent questionable activity on Ava's phone, but it does little to impact the situation.
You know?
So I have something really weird with that phone. When we first got that, the phone kept ringing non-stop, ringing in to me. And I was picking it up, and there was like people talking, and like I'm like hello, and like non-stop, like I mean every 4 seconds there was a call coming in with random numbers, and I didn't know them. And I was hitting block contact. Like as soon as we got that phone number,
okay, well,
like
that has nothing to do with what went on today.
Questions about her intentions lead to a harsh reality check from the deputy, who forces Ava to consider the possible consequences of the false report.
What were you planning on happening out of this? But what did you think was going to happen when you said somebody was kidnapped and somebody had a gun? What did you think was going to happen? Well, did you have any thoughts about how much of the law enforcement resources in this area you were going to take up by doing that? I probably never thought of that, right? Did you think of the men and women that have families at home that are driving 90 or 100 miles an hour with their lights and siren on, trying to save somebody who's a victim of an armed kidnapping, that they could be involved in a traffic crash and be seriously injured or killed because you wanted to make a joke? Does that seem funny to you? Would that be funny if that happened? Because I can tell you that would be even more serious than what you're looking at right now.
You physically see your father walk up to sheriffs, military, everybody, thank you for your service. And then you do like this?
Though it wasn't captured on camera, reports state that Ava admitted to getting the idea to prank 911 from a YouTube challenge, and a deputy attempts to get more details.
Where was this video that you saw? Where was it? On YouTube? Do you remember who the creator was or who the poster was, what it was about? What do you mean by all of this? This as in what? So it was a video about the Palm Coast Chick-fil-A. That's it. That's all the video was about? Gotcha. So, yep. So you saw a video that somebody made about how fun it would be to call 911 or text 911 and say that somebody's got a gun, somebody's trying to get hurt. You thought it'd be fun to recreate that. Is that what you're telling me? Okay.
However, Ava is about to realize an apology won't be enough to escape the consequences. Meanwhile, one deputy reveals that he was able to reach Ava by phone just before their arrival and got a less than friendly response from the young girl.
27 minutes, she lied to the dispatcher or the call taker over text, and then when I caught her up, she told me to F myself and stop responding.
Caught her up?
Like, got her caught up. Like, hey, you know what's up? The jig's up.
That's when she started deleting more text messages.
Mm-hmm.
Based on Ava's statements, deputies decide there's enough probable cause to arrest Ava and prepare to take the 11-year-old into custody.
You're gonna Amanda. Here, stop. Hey. Stop.
I'm just saying this. She can't sit in a dentist's office, so that's why I'm saying this.
Deep breath.
Listen carefully. Don't make this.
She's gonna come out there. No, she'll be out there. She is going to hurt herself right now.
She's not going to. Don't prevent her. So stop. Listen to me. What's your Ava? Ava. Stop struggling, okay? They're not going to hurt you. Yeah, they're not going to hurt you. Listen carefully what's going to happen here. No one's going to hurt you. You're going to sit in the car for now, okay? If you go somewhere, what it's going to involve is taking pictures, taking fingerprints, and then they're going to call your parents to come and get you. So don't make the situation any worse. They'll be up shortly after that.
Go in the car?
No, you can't go in the car.
You can cuff me if you have to.
It just can't happen.
I'm telling you this right now, you're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old that if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
I'm not going to do this again.
Ava is placed into the back of the police car where her father delivers a few hard truths.
I'm just warning you, you're not going to sit for a couple hours. They're going to be bringing you into a building, fingerprinting you, doing all sorts of stupid for your stupid. Your life just changed, kid. Over a phone call, your life just changed.
Minutes later, the reality of the situation continues to have an emotional impact on her parents.
This is the best punishment for her right now. Sucks for us, but this is the best thing for her because she's down to get it.
It sucks for us. I work my off with you to keep this kid doing stuff normal like we did as kids, and this is the she does.
According to a statement from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, 11-year-old Ava was charged with making a false police report concerning the use of a firearm in a violent manner, a felony, and misuse of 911, a misdemeanor. After being processed at the Family Resource Center, she was later transferred to the Volusia Regional Juvenile Detention Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, an experience she is unlikely to forget.